Yeah. All right, you guys. What's up, man?
Hey, let's go.
We back, yo.
Yep.
Come to day 2, DD2. So, shout out to everybody that came online with me yesterday. We couldn't post anything this week. We had a slight delay on what we were working on, the NBC words. But we back now.
That's right.
You good?
I'm great.
That's the fam.
Hey, on point.
Yeah, man.
I'm just glad, you got DD2 up and running, a place where, we can keep it 100, you know what I'm saying? Even topics like the word nigga, cracker, bitch, to some people those kind of words are, offensive or whatever, but I can keep it raw and uncut, admit that I do use the word nigga,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Even with the racial history behind it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We've come to use it anyway.
To acceptance.
You know what I'm saying?
Some kind of acceptance.
Yeah, yeah. Some kind of acceptance. And even the way I use it, some people may consider it wrong. But that's just the culture I was brought up in. You know what I'm saying? So
all right, so we on it right now. We're gonna talk about the N-word, nigga. We're gonna talk about the B-word, bitch.
Yep.
That my sisters, that one is like part of the culture. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean,
and,
it seemed like our women basically have taken a word that was used racially as well, and have transformed it, using it into something as a term of endearment. Because guess what? The same white people that called us niggers call women nigger bitches.
Okay, we're gonna get
They
on
called
it.
them, I'm telling you, they called them nigger bitch.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
a fact.
And then the final one is gonna be the cracker. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So we're gonna talk about it. But shout out to everybody that came online with me yesterday. I went live. I told you. You even showed up a little bit. I know you were busy. We talked about women. I used the scripture because we're gonna talk about religion next on our topic. A lot of you be asking about that.
Definitely.
So we definitely gonna deal. We don't agree on that.
That's
but,
one of my favorite topics, religion. So I'm ready for that whenever. Yeah.
So I also got a couple of people, man. You guys get ready for this. I'm a Nigerian American, so I always pay attention. That's why y'all see me listen to Afro music all the time. I pay attention to what's going on at home, so I was able to get a couple of my Nigerian folks. We're going to talk because it seems like every time people hear about Nigeria, they hear about Nigerian scam.
Yeah.
So there are some of us really grimy.
Like the Nigerian prince, have these funds and this Swedish bank.
They get all these ladders. So I have one of my brother and a couple of things going on there who I'm going to get. And we're going to tell you about Nigeria that you don't know. So that's a topic I'm working on. And the guy that just got arrested, who did a huge scam. We're going to talk about him. And then we're going to focus on, when black people are doing those things, it's always, oh yeah, Nigerians. If you watch American Greed, you understand that, hey, there's a lot of, not us doing it. There's a lot of people behind it. But that's a whole different topic, man. You got to do your research. Let's get it.
All right, so
The N-word. Let's go ahead with the N-word.
Okay.
This at this point, should we in Africa, some music that they put out and they use the N-word. Even while I was there in Nigeria, some people use it. One of my favorite artists, Two-Face, back in a while ago, there's one song he made, and he used the N-word. So I got to a point now where I'm not asking myself, are we just cool with this N-word now? I mean, is he okay? Is he a big deal?
My question, I don't understand why people in Nigeria would be using that word. I mean, unless it was used.
Like the guy used it when he was singing. He made a song, and the song is more like "I want to be your nigga." I think.
Well, let's get something straight, man. It is no doubt that the world listened to Black American music.
Right.
So it's very influential.
Right.
So, and a lot of times we take the negative with the positive.
So I ask you, are we at a point now where you can basically say, is it okay to just use this word?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the individual. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know the effect music might have on somebody, elsewhere or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, the music is influential. You only, as far as knowledge, you only have what's inside of you. You know what I'm saying? You grab knowledge from here, there, everywhere else, and it's inside of you. So what you're accustomed to is going to become a part of your lifestyle.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
So, this guy you're talking about, when he listened to this American music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he saying nigger along with that rapper, he feels the pain of the rapper. You understand what I'm saying? When people listening to Tupac and bumping and saying everything he's saying and putting their mind into everything that he's saying, even a lot of these white people who listen to these rappers begin to feel the pain of the artists. But when I said on the last interview we did concerning the word nigga, why white people shouldn't say it, is because of the history and their history with it. I don't blame them for listening to the music and feeling that the pain.
Okay. One of the things that I have, because I'm looking at it now, like when we were talking about most people that buy our music is mainly white folks. When in the 90s, when this thing went platinum, a lot of white folks were getting introduced to the hood life, to how it's going on.
Exactly.
So the N-word was used a lot.
And I'm gonna explain something to you too now. There's a lot of white people who actually grow up around black people.
Black people, yeah.
Now, to be honest, those white people around those group of black people they were raised around, those black people might give them a pass. As a matter of fact, those are the type of white people that call each other nigga.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, are we coming to a point now where maybe it's okay? Because, like you just said now, somebody like Eminem grew up around white people.
Yeah.
Eminem never used it.
Never used
one
it.
time.
That's what I'm saying. And he grew up in the rap culture.
Exactly.
So my point is...
So if he uses it, would it be a problem?
Would it be... how is he using it?
No, I'm saying if he uses it in his song.
Yeah.
So let's assume he's rapping and he decides to say, like the movie he made, then he now decide to say, they called him all types of names in that movie, that 8 Mile.
Yeah.
They were calling, Elvis called him all type of names. Let's assume Eminem is, when the hood accepts you, like, yeah, that guy, he's a dope rapper.
You're right.
He's good. He can go with the best.
Yeah.
And he grew up around the culture. What if he decides to now say, put the N-word in there?
How is he saying it in the song?
That's what I'm saying. If he's saying it in a good way, I grew up around. So let's assume Eminem just say, I grew up around a couple of niggas that taught me how to rap.
Well, it's up to whoever listening to it whether they get offended or not. Some people ain't gonna take it the same. Some people gonna say, why is this white boy using the word nigga when he's never used it in the song before? There's other words he could have used. Some people gonna be like, man, we fuck with Eminem. You know what I'm saying? Shit, whatever. He didn't use it in a derogatory way. He's just calling it how he see it. So it depends on the individual and how they receive it.
You see, that's where I'm at. There's so much rules involved in it.
You absolutely right.
There's so much.
That word is very touchy.
It is
It's
very
a touchy
touchy.
word.
But it seems like when we using it, that would remind me of straight.
Yeah.
Black people be like, hey man, you straight?
Yeah.
You straight?
Uh-huh.
Like, you straight, we got a problem?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it now like, are we at a point now? And a white person use that too, like, yo, you straight? I mean, what's good?
You're right.
So are we at a point, because I just think when the nigger war came out, if you realized it, let's go 90s rap. I'll give it to, you know, when OG gangster rap came, NWA, so it really hit the platform.
Mm-hmm.
Even a lot of black people were from the suburbs. They didn't use it.
Yeah.
It was from the hood.
Mm-hmm.
But now everybody's basically using it.
Yeah.
My thing is, years from now, do you believe that this word is gonna be
Well,
an everyday word?
You're saying it's gonna be. It already is. It just depends.
So why are we making rules on it?
Because
then?
it depends on who you around. It's some Asians call each other nigga, but a lot of them are from the hip hop
Culture.
You know what I'm saying? I think the biggest issue is when somebody who's not from that culture is using it. You know what I'm saying? And they're using it in a derogatory term. And even somebody who's from the culture, they could hear the wrong person who's not from the culture, or even if they're from the culture, it depends on how they were raised. You know what I'm saying? Because some black people don't use it at all.
Exactly.
And they're from that culture. And if they hear anybody using it, they're offended. Even me. You know what I'm saying? So, like that's one word you can't really put in a box.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You can't say, well, are we going to accept it? Because even if me and you accept it, somebody else ain't.
Exactly.
So when we having this, like in this interview, we're discussing the word, and it's just so many different situations, you know what I'm saying, that can occur around that word. So either somebody could say it and the group he's around is cool with it, or somebody could say it and the group he's around is not. Or somebody could say it and the group he's around is cool with it, and one individual is offended. You know what I'm saying? Like, why he getting the pass?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, it's not a cut and dry word, you know, depending on, it just depending on who's around when it happens. Like you used the example of we at a concert,
Yeah.
and somebody in the crowd singing the song. Is anybody really watching this guy to see what he's saying? And
Probably
to
not.
react? That's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody probably like just zoomed in,
like,
watching. Well,
Well, it depends, like-
I know the N word about to come up. I'm about to see if he said it. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
it
It ain't
depends
like
on the
that.
song though, because there are some songs that when we hear it, like what's his name? I'm telling you, I went on YouTube, and when I saw that DMX take over, what was it?
Yeah.
My nigga
Yeah.
gonna ride my
Exactly. Most white people in the
That
crowd.
was the crowd.
Yeah. So
And
that's
they
what
are
I'm
going
saying.
on. So
So I'm pretty sure
basically-
X didn't get offended. You know what I'm saying?
Now his money
So,
good.
and guess what? Everybody in that crowd paid to see DMX.
DMX.
So they are diehard fans.
Right.
But my point was, somebody somewhere could possibly get offended because all of these white guys just said the N word. Some people are just, you know what I'm saying, that way.
Do you think like maybe these white guys just saying that like, yo man, it's not, if they're looking at it like this thing happened decades ago.
Yeah, ain't
Like,
got shit to do with
ain't
that.
got-
My ancestors didn't own slaves. None
Right.
of that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
So
it's,
what
it's
I
a
did,
bunch
I'm
of
just
white
saying,
people.
listen, that I don't take.
It's one thing that if a lot of people haven't learned yet, a lot of white people fucks with black people.
Absolutely.
If you
This
didn't learn
era.
that just from these protests, you know, all of this stuff going on, a lot of white people fuck with black people. It's a small fraction of racist white people who still got that old
Mentality,
mindset
yeah.
where they still hate black people for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, it all depends on the group you around. Some people gonna let the shit slide, some people not. Same thing. It can be a group of in LA, a whole neighborhood full of Mexicans, and they calling each other nigga.
Yeah, and
My nigga, man, that's my
even
nigga.
now,
You know what I'm saying?
And it seems like when even the Spanish people are around, blacks, they use it. It's not a big deal. I think it's just white folks that we got a problem.
I'm
with.
talking about Spanish people who don't even live around black people. They just live around each other. And they've adapted to that hip hop culture so much that they call each other, you know what I'm saying? So Fat Joe is Puerto Rican.
Right.
He grew up in the Bronx. Okay, in his area, yeah, You know, because they got you know a Spanish area of the Bronx.
Right.
They got, you know what I'm saying, Spanish area of Harlem. So in they little circle, in they little where they live, it is nothing but Spanish people there. But they so you know into that hip hop culture, and they listen to Biggie and Jay and all of them. So that's who molded them.
Right.
Hip hop molded them. So, like I say, it just depends on who's around.
You see what you just said now.
Yeah.
You see what you just said now. That's why I said we're basically giving them a pass because of the culture they grew up in.
Hold up. We're not giving them a pass. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not about putting everything in the box. It's not about like, well, all of these black people giving these Hispanics a pass or Latinos a pass. Those Latinos are around each other. And
But when Fat Joe make music, it does use it.
You're right.
Okay.
Fat Joe consider himself as a black man.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
Is
what I'm
it
saying?
very possible Eminem to do the same? Because he grew up around.
Eminem don't consider himself a black man.
But what I'm saying, grew up. I don't even think. I think we are the ones saying Fat Joe consider himself a black man. But what I think,
man. I've heard.
so you
plenty
say
interviews
all this click.
where Fat Joe knows the history, knows his history, and consider himself.
I think
know
I'll
what I'm
give you a
saying?
pass on that because I think they are based on the history, like, you know, Puerto Ricans were black.
They call themselves Afro Latino.
Exactly, because of the gene and all I got mixed,
Exactly.
and they do. We just look at white folks like they don't have a gene of black.
But here's the thing: some Hispanics don't accept their African history at all.
At all, yeah.
Because I'll tell you right now, there's whole documentaries on every Hispanic group of people, from Cubans to Mexicans to Puerto Ricans to Dominicans, and they all have African history. Only a few of them made a decision not to bring it up. They call it the African grandmother in the closet. That's what they call it. You know what I'm saying? So they don't like to. Some of them don't like to bring up the fact that they have African, you know what I'm saying, in their history.
So
You know?
at this point now, we can go back and forth. I think that word is so watered down now.
Yeah, it is watered down.
It is so watered down now that you know, raising a son or raising a daughter, I think I still would not. No, I know I'm not going to let them use that word.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is,
They're not gonna get it from you though.
no, that's
They're
what
gonna
I'm
get
saying.
it from
like,
their friends in
if they
school.
go outside now, like the kids. So I was in a swimming pool, like at my house that day, and the guys that were there, this is a nice neighborhood with their parents doing well, and they using the N word. I had to look at them because my son right there, like, yo.
But here's the thing, right? Most of what a child gets, he gets it from his peers in school.
Right, when
You
they
know
get
what I'm
older,
saying?
yeah.
No, I'm not even talking about when they get older. From a child, you know, them being around each
them
other,
more, yeah.
they're pulling from each other, and everything they pull creates who they are.
True.
Create what kind of person they are. Their
yeah.
environment. Think about it, man. Your children are in school for the most important parts of the day. By the time they get home from school and you get off work, you tired. You want to make sure they got their homework done. You want to kick your feet up and relax. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure dinner is served. So it's only like a 2-3 hour time frame that you're actually spending with your children.
Right.
Most of the day, they're in the classroom or just hanging out with their friends in school.
True.
So most of what they're getting throughout the day coming from other people their age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of...
So at the end of the day, we can conclude with this whole N-word now, like, yo, I know when we are around each other, you know, we've used it before, like,
Exactly.
you know, but I don't know. I think we got to a point now, and I'm just thinking, me thinking out loud, I'm thinking like, years from now, I just think it's just going to be a part of the way people talk.
Yeah.
You know, that's my thought on it. But y'all let us know what you think. If are we ever gonna stop using it, or this thing we're just gonna let it slide? We don't know. But it is what it is, and just leave your comment. Let us know what you think. Let's get the other one.
Okay, so what we going to next?
we're gonna talk about the word bitch.
All right.
And when we talk about this, the reason I'm even bringing this up, so that when Kobe died,
Yeah.
Gail, Gail is known for, a lot of us, we always say, she knows how to throw black people under the bus.
Yeah.
Gail, Oprah, like they don't fight for us. Anything, when Kobe died, they brought up his rape, whatever, his rape charges, and everybody was really upset because that's Kobe, man. We grew up with Kobe. We now most of us grew up with him when he got drafted. We basically
Follow his career.
followed him. You don't even have to be a Laker fan to even say Kobe, but we're gonna come back real quick because we went over the time, and we're gonna talk about the beach word. How when Snoop attacked Gail,
Mm-hmm.
it was a major
Exactly.
problem. Like, oh my God.
We called her a dog head bitch though.
We'll be right back, and we're gonna talk about a dog head bitch.
All right.
We're coming back, man.